Hey guys and gals, Wes Jones here again, bringing you my latest project to my trolling motor conversion on my Ascend 128T Kayak. If you watched my other videos, you remember where I had taken the stock controller, ran wires, and extended it up to the front, well I guess to the middle, kind of in between my legs there. I put the control knob up through there. I've since discovered and am about to implement a much better speed control system. Check it out. So this is your stock control, what do they call this? Speed pack, speed coil that comes in the Minn Kota C2 30-pound thrust trolling motor. This right here controls the speed based off a resistor system. So when you have this joker wide open on speed 5, you've got no resistance, so the battery's just sending all the juice straight to the trolling motor. Speed 4, 3, 2, and 1 have progressively stronger resistors. So speed 1, 2, 3, and 4 shave off excess electricity in the form of heat. So this battery, even on speed 1, the battery's still sending full juice to it as if you were in speed 5, and these resistors that are built inside of this just shave off that extra electricity. So super duper wasteful. You know, you can be out trolling on speed 1 and 2 thinking you're being real conservative with your battery, but you might as well be on speed 5 because the battery's still sending the exact same amount of current to this joker as if it was on speed 5. And just that excess electricity shaved off in the form of wasteful heat. So you're draining your battery. Even on speed 1, you're wasting a lot of juice. So I found this product online. I'll put a link into the description. I'll talk a little bit more about this later in the video or maybe in another video. But this is a pulse width modulator with an attached potentiometer, and what this does is it modulates the width of the pulses from the battery to the motor. Not resistor based, so the motor only receives the electricity that it needs to match whatever speed you have it set on. The higher the speed, the wider the pulse width, so the more on the motor is than off, and of course the faster it'll go. And it has a soft start function. It's got reverse. I mean, this is a really awesome product. I'll go into it a little bit more later in the video. But yeah, from what I've been reading, you know, this can easily double or triple your battery life because you're only using the electricity that you actually need to correspond to the speed. So let's get this joker installed. Okay guys, figured I'd give you an update before I get everything bolted up where I can't show it. So this is how you're going to want to wire up this pulse width modulator. You got your battery, positive and negative. Of course, positive is going to come up into the circuit breaker. You want to elect for a 30 amp waterproof one. These are really, really handy. You know, the pulse width modulator, potentiometer, trolling motor itself. I mean, you start to get some money in these projects, so you want to be able to protect it. You know, if this thing short circuits anywhere or anything like that, it's just going to trip that fuse, that circuit breaker rather, and nothing's going to be hurt. So anyway, we come off the battery into power in, positive and negative, into the pulse width modulator, positive and negative from the trolling motor. You can see wires are coming up from below decks. Boom. Where I've installed a Minn Kota brand, rated for 30 amp plug-in receptacle. Before, you guys might have seen in my other video, I was using a trailer plug-in receptacle. Those aren't really rated for 30 amps. It by all means was getting the job done. Wasn't really running hot or anything, but I just didn't know how many years that was going to last. So I figured I'd get something that I knew for sure was 30 amps rated. Being now with this pulse width modulator, I'm only using the 2 instead of the 4 wires out of the trolling motor. I can use this plug-in. Couldn't use it before because this only has 2 or 3 wire support, and I was using all 4 wires from the trolling motor. So that's one of the other reasons that I went with the trailer hitch plug-in receiver initially, but now just on the 2 wire system, I'm going to go with a good name brand, something that's rated for what I'm using it for. So yeah, it passed the test. Alright, so the only thing left to do is get everything bolted up below decks. Okay guys and gals, I got everything pretty well ran. Check it out. You see, I built a mount below decks to mount my battery, circuit breaker, and the Pulse Width Modulator too. It's just a piece of OSB. I like the OSB because it has a little bit of flex to it, but still pretty strong. I put these little kind of guardrails in here just to help hold the battery in place, keep it from sliding unexpectedly. And I put some cut pool noodles on either side of the mount just to help this slide in and out a little easier, keep it tighter in there, and of course keep the edges from rubbing and scratching. So you can see where I've got everything screwed down and secure, nothing's going anywhere. That's where the wiring is done on the trolling motor. Turn this fan off. So I got the wiring done on the trolling motor. I extended the length of this wiring because I have a lift system installed now. For when I get in shallow water, I can just lift this puppy up, and so I needed to have enough slack for it to raise and lower. See, that's where it plugs in right there. Very, very nice. That's where the plug feeds back and under into the Pulse Width Modulator. That's where the battery, positive and negative, feeds into the Pulse Width Modulator. Bam, bam, bam. Cool. Here's the control. So without further ado, let's give it a test. Oh, sweet. Oh, wow. It gets up and goes. And you can have this thing just crawl. Huh? Reverse. Oh yeah. See, that reverse is actually going to be useful now. Woo! Cool. Cool, cool, cool. Very, very pleased with this whole thing. Then this whole thing can just slide under here, matter of fact. So that's with the everything slid back. So I still have all this storage space up here I can use. Super, super satisfied with this build. Super satisfied. Now all I have to do is probably machine out a little hole somewhere to run the cable up and through. Alright, so I've got everything put together, fully installed. There's the speed control. You can see it just kind of runs under the seat and into a hole I machined out. Drilled a little hole out right there. Put in a little doodad. What do you call those? Some kind of rubber affair. Kind of helps keep water from getting in. And then, of course, to get the cord through here, I took and cut a little slit here, ran the cord through there. Then I got that filled in with some waterproof epoxy. Also took the liberty of switching the hatch around while I was at it. You know, I never understood why Ascend elected to make the hatch open towards the seat, because the seat spins around. So when I do a 180 to get in the back, I don't know, I feel like it's just a little more intuitive to have it open this way. So I'll swap that around. You can see there's all the goodies. Manual circuit reset, battery, and the holy grail, the Pulse Width Modulator. Love that thing. Love it, love it, love it. Still got plenty of room, extra storage back there. So that's pretty cool. Yep. There's where it plugs in. That turned out really well too. I really like that metal plate, super substantial. It's not going anywhere. Boop. Okay, now I still got my lift here. You can see I've got another 4 or 5 inches up I could have gone. But it's kind of hard to crank and tie this thing off with one hand when you're holding the camera. So that's pretty sweet. We'll cut this joker on. Oh yeah. How cool is that? Could not be happier with this Wireless Trolling Pro brand Pulse Width Modulator. Could not be happier. You can see that's where I had the old stock Minn Kota control speed controller installed, and just plugged that up with a sexy little brass plug. Yep. Anyway, if you have any questions or comments, hit me up.